Right, well, a little earlier this hour, we heard from Liz Truss, didn't we? She called for tax cuts at a conference fringe event this lunchtime. Now, this is very important. We have more people in this country paying high-rate tax than pretty much ever, I think. So tax cuts, therefore, would affect more people than ever. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, though, failed to clearly address the topic, classic, during his keynote speech at the conference, Conservative Party conference. He says that he's focused on the government's target to halve inflation by the end of 2023. Keep your eyes open long enough to watch and listen to this.
We Conservatives know if you get the economy right, everything else comes right too. So right now we're focused on bringing down inflation. Nothing hurts families more when it comes to the weekly shop, heating bills or pump prices, which is why the Prime Minister's pledged to halve it.
Jeremy from Accounts there. Now, just moments before I came on air, Liz Truss herself walked up to me just off this stage and said, "Patrick, love the show." I said, "Thanks very much, Liz." She then went on to say, "Tax?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Cut it, cut it, cut it." And with me now is Mark Littlewood, Director General at the Institute of Economic Affairs. And after that, we're going to be joined by Justin Urquhart Stewart, who's co-founder of Regionally. Mark, I'll start with you. Look, to be fair, Liz had a go. To be fair, you had a go. And it imploded. So why is she right now?
Oh, she was right then. I mean, the overall issue is the tax burden, Patrick, is just way, way, way too high. It's now at the highest level since the Second World War. Right. You wouldn't believe there'd been 13 years of Conservative government. Now, in order to cut taxes, you've got to make some bold decisions on spending as well, because spending's gone through the roof as well. So if you want to get taxes down, you've got to be serious about getting spending down. I slightly fear that this government is going to do neither. Spending sets the sort of limit, and then you tax to the match to pay for it.
Yeah, but look, if you've got people watching this now, which we will have, all over the UK, all right, in places like Stoke or wherever, why should they be bothered about things like tax cuts? Is that not just a rich person's thing? No offence to anyone in Stoke, by the way. I appreciate there is some wealth there.
No, absolutely not. I think the most important thing is to cut taxes for ordinary families. Absolutely ridiculous. More and more people are being dragged into paying income tax. Yeah. You don't have to be that rich now before you're paying the top rate of the 40p rate.
Some nurses do.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. That was initially designed to be for the super rich. It's now $50,000 a year. Not a bad salary, I grant you, but not an easy salary to bring up a family of four on, right?
No.
So we've got to get the overall tax burden down. I don't think you need to target this at the super billionaires, but actually if you target corporation tax as well, which Liz Truss has argued should go back down to 19%, I think there's good evidence that would pay for itself, that a lower rate would encourage more business, more investment, and in fact, you'll still have as much going into the Treasury.
What I'll do is I'll bring in Justin Urquhart Stewart now, who's co-founder of Regionally, regular on the show, regular on the channel, and we'll just get his take on it, and then I'll put some of that to you, Mark. Justin, yeah, great to have you on the show. Thank you. Look, do we just have a socialist government pretending to be conservative that's taxing us all to the hilt and they're not doing anything about it?
Well, it is astonishing, isn't it? As Mark was saying, it's not just the amount of tax, it's the sheer complication we've got. Polly's Tax Guide, which is the book that accountants take to bed with them for some sort of excitement in the evening, I think has doubled in size over the past 12 years. So, A, it's just too complicated, and B, it's not creative taxation. One of the key elements where you really can get more bang for your buck is actually by creating more or using the incentives, things like enterprise investment scheme. Make those regional as well. We are very good at setting up small businesses. We're absolutely rubbish at financing them to make them grow into something more significant, and which become profitable and then pay more tax, which then employs more people and they pay more tax. So those are the areas where you're going to get proper growth. And what I can't see at the moment is that real incentive to encourage greater productivity, to get investment money coming in, not just domestically, but overseas as well. There's no shortage of money. I don't mean the money tree, which went the same way as the Hadrian's Wall sycamore. That's just printing the stuff. But real, using pension money, redirected, not by dogma, but because they actually can have a mechanism to do so, into good British businesses. You get most fund managers at the moment, they do great asset allocation around the world. How many it goes into British companies? They probably don't know.
OK, I'll bring in Mark again. Is Jeremy Hunt useless?
I don't think he's useless. I think he's a well-intentioned person. I just think he's looking at this problem down the wrong end of the telescope.
Why, though? Why? Is it because, dare I say it, he's never worked a day in his life in banking?
Well, I'm not necessarily sure that people who've worked in banking is the automatic qualification to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer. I just think he just sees the world in a different way. And unfortunately, what this government is seeing is that the amount of spending is fixed. This all has to go up. Spending has to go up and up and up. And then we need to raise taxes to match it. So I haven't heard Jeremy Hunt or Rishi Sunak come up with an imaginative plan for cutting spending, apart from the completely blindingly obvious that we should cancel HS2. But that's it.
Yeah.
We need to get the welfare bill down seriously. I mean, Jeremy Hunt said one or two things about trying to get people back into work. I approve of that.
He said a bit about the public sector as well and about civil servants. But again, that's not going to shift an economy, right?
No, it's not going to shift an economy.
That's a little bit of saving money from hiring 60,000 too many people during a pandemic. That doesn't sort your economy out.
No, it doesn't. That's the problem I've got. It's all fiddling at the edges. And actually, we've got to attempt to get the tax burden down radically. We are now not far off. 50p in every pound being spent in Britain is spent by the government.
Yes.
50p in every pound. This is crazy.
This is the real thing, and you've hit on exactly the right note that I want to strike. And Justin, if you're still there, I'll bring you back up. Justin Urquhart Stewart, co-founder of Regionally. The big problem that I have, and I think the big problem that people of Manchester have, dare I say it, around the UK, is you hear that figure there. Almost half of your money goes in tax. For what? We don't have rural bus services. The NHS is absolutely knackered. If you send your kids to school, you'll be looking to get a school place, and when they're there, they might just be indoctrinated with a load of stuff you don't want them to hear anyway. What are we paying for?
Well, this is a ridiculous thing. We had this thing, you were talking about it earlier, more people paying high rate tax. Of course, it's not high rate tax, it's normal. This was fiscal drag, and I don't mean cross-dressing accountants. This is actually getting, more people, poorer people into higher rate tax. Now, what we do know is, with the Laffer curve, is actually if you do bring tax down a bit to a reasonable level, you actually get more income, because people actually spend less time trying to actually salt their money away into places they're going to tax by. So make tax creative. So it's encouraging people to invest, put money in, and okay, they like paying tax. We're actually in a position where actually it seemed to be doing something. At the moment, I'm just throwing money into a black hole, in the case of HS2, a very long black hole, and with no benefit to it at all.